Sini and friends. Today I'm going to talk about my favorite lawyers. Next. So let's start with my background first, I guess. When I was taught from 7th grade to 8th grade and from 8th grade to 9th grade, I was really confused with what I want to be in my future days. And I was really nervous also for the upcoming senior days. But then I told myself, what about being an architect? And then when I review more about being an architect, I still didn't know if I want to be in it. I'm still not sure, being an architect would be a good thing, because it's not my talent and not my passion. Then there is this case, which is Mirna's case, or my friend loves to call it, since it's the Indonesia thing, they call it azab aturan kopi Vietnam. So it all started from this girl, which is, her name is Jessica, and this girl, which her name was Mirna, and this girl, which is Hani, went to Oliver's Cafe in GI or Grand Indonesia after they just got back home from Australia, and Mirna just got married. 3 months after her marriage, they meet each other in Oliver's Cafe. So Jessica at that time ordered a coffee, a Vietnamese coffee, that had cyanide in it to Mirna. So if you didn't know, basically coffee plus cyanide equals death. So that's what happened with Mirna, and Mirna died in the Oliver's Cafe at the time. So Jessica and Honey will be sentenced to their death. But since Honey didn't order the coffee, Jessica will get the blame because she ordered the Vietnamese coffee, and being the person who was told to put the cyanide in it because she bought a vitamin D before she went to the cafe. So finally she needed a lawyer, and Otto Hasibuan is her lawyer. Sadly, he failed on protecting her from jail. But then sooner or later, since I watched many of the debate in Metro TV and many more, I realized that I want to be a lawyer. I don't know why that happened, but I told myself, this is going to be your passion. And a lot of people always told me, why don't you just be a lawyer since you're a rule follower? But then I fell into a black hole because I'm not sure being a lawyer would be a good thing, since my family, they hate lawyers, and they hate advocates people, they hate judges and everything else. But then I had to pick myself up, and I told myself that I want to be a lawyer because I'm pretty sure this is my passion, and I always love to watch the debates that they have, and it's really fun to see how lawyers will be. So next. Today I'm going to talk about the great lawyers of Indonesia and my favorites. But I'm not going to talk all of them, it would take so long, so I'll just get through with some of the lawyers that are really legendary here in Indonesia. So first one is Adnan Buyung Nasution, Oce Kaligis, Kodung Mulia Lubis, Hotman Faris Utapia, Abdul, Hotma Luhut, Elza Sharif, this one, and Franz Ender, and also Otto Hasibuan. So let's start from Adnan Buyung Nasution. He was an e-graduate for his first degree. For his second degree, he went for international law in Melbourne University in Australia. Then to get his third degree, or his doctoral degree, he went to Utrecht University in Netherlands. Sadly, he died on 23rd of September 2015 on his age 81. He also had a quote that I tried to translate it in English, which is, "Half of the truth is much more worse than the bad thing itself." Next. And this is his law firm, Akan Winos and Partners. Now let's talk about Cornelis Kalidis. Since he is probably Hotman Paris' favorite lawyer, since Otto Cornelis is his teacher. So this is Otto Cornelis Kalidis, or just for short, Oce Kalidis. He is the teacher among great lawyers. Some of the lawyers were Hotman Paris Utapia and Elza Sharif. He first went to Parayaman University for his first degree. To get his second degree, he went to Universitas Indonesia, but not as a lawyer, as a notary. Then he graduated from RWTH in Germany to get his third degree, or his doctoral degree. But then he finished his doctoral degree in Pajajaran University. This is his law firm, and Hotman Paris ever worked in here. It was Oce and Associates, for advocates and legal consultants. Now let's talk about Todung Mulia Lubis. He is pretty phenomenal also in Indonesia. Next. He is the Master of Law student. He first started it in E for his first degree. Then he continued with as a Master of Law student 2 times in University of California in Berkeley, then in Harvard, but he gets his doctoral degree in University of California. This is his law firm, Sam Ruby Santosa and Malamis law firm. Now let's talk about my personal favorite lawyers. One of them are, actually there's 2, which is Otto Hasibuan and Hotman Paris Utapia. But first let's talk about Hotman Paris Utapia. He was born on 20 October 1959. At first he wanted to be an engineer, but since he don't have talent in it, he had to go to a law school, which then his teacher was Oce Kalidis, or Otto Cornelis Kalidis. Then he also, after he graduated, he worked with Oce Kalidis in his law firm. He graduated from Parayaman University for his first degree, but since he had to be a lawyer, he had to go to University of Technology in Sydney. Then to get his third degree, he went to Gajah Mada, Yogyakarta. But he finished everything with Pajajaran University. He also works in a few law firms, as I told you before. And the one thing that I like about him is how different he thinks the situation could be. Like, for example, when someone told him that that artist actually used drugs, and then he told people that no, that artist didn't use drugs, and it was a sleeping pill. People could buy sleeping pills, and he will debate about it because he wants to be different, and he knows how to be, different in a good way and in a great, better manner also. And lastly, I have Otto Hasibuan as my favorite law lawyer. He was born on 5th of May 1955. He was a graduate from UGM University. Then he continued with University of Technology in Sydney, then in UGM to be a doctor. But before he goes to college, he was actually a process leader, so he really got a good leadership. That's when he became a big KMK leader. And he also had many more past stories. One thing that I like about him is that he knows how to lead and he knows how to be different, to help other people and to save other people. This is some of the Indonesia's great lawyers. You may see it in this site because I also use this site to research more about the lawyers. So in conclusion, my two of my favorite lawyers were Hotman Paris Hutapea and Otto Hasibuan because I could learn more about them and they have a lot of good experiences also. And I also learned that the one who could pick yourself up is yourself and not others. So probably if there's someone trying to stop you from being something that you want, you shouldn't listen to them and you should listen to yourself. Thanks. Thank you, Miss Jenny and friends, for listening to my presentation.